Gamegenic made a lot of stuff for the Altered trading card game. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Hey everybody, I'm Z Garcia, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a bunch of the extra storage solutions and sleeves and tokens that Gamegenic is producing for the Altered trading card game. That is this game right here that we've covered on the channel. Make sure you check that video out if you don't know what this game is. But it's a brand new trading card game with a lot of interesting things going on in it. And today we're going to be looking at all these other bits and pieces that you can get to store your cards, to protect them, and to take them with you. So we're going to start with this very big boy right here in the middle. This is known as the Cards Layer Pro 1000 Plus. This is, of course, the Altered Edition. They sell this product, and many of these products, of course, without the Altered branding on it. But this, of course, is going to be a video all about this branding on the products that Gamegenic makes. So we begin with the big boy right here. This is going to store some cards, some tokens, maybe even playmats. So the top comes off like this, and you have on the top of the lid there some foiling as well. One neat thing you can do with this big giant floppy thing is, well, I guess you could use it to roll dice or something. But one thing you can do is you can put it on the bottom, and it sort of flops up into it, and it's out of the way. So you take the whole top and you put it on the bottom, and there you go. You don't have to worry about it anymore. In here, you can store playmats. As you can see, you can store this token tray or a card tray that goes in the middle between the two players. You've got here some other tokens. We're going to cover all this stuff, okay? Cards right here, or you can take the playmats out and do cards there also, of course. And then this will flop open. I'll do this and show you. This flops open right here, and there's two more of these little bins to show you bits or to store your bits. And this in here will be the upgraded basic tokens for the game. So let's start with these playmats, shall we? This whole thing is really superb. It's got sort of a faux leatherette, they call it. Soft feel to the outside. It's this really nice sort of washed out blonde brown that I think is very attractive. Feels good, seems well constructed. I like the look of it a lot, and it is a pretty good compact package for a lot of stuff you're going to be able to store in there. I also like that this little guy right here, this is a track you can put together, also an upgraded thing. Has a special dedicated space right here, and if you don't want it, you can just remove this and then not worry about that. You can also put a little divider right here and split this into two halves and store two paper playmats in here if you want to, okay? So there you go. Let's start right here with this this track. This is going to be just the cards in the basic game, and you can use this to place the cards that you are adventuring on and then reveal them as you move on to them. Pretty excessive, probably, I would say, the most excessive part of everything that Gamegenic is making for Altered. And while I find it to be very attractive, it is probably one of the last things I would recommend. It looks great, but it is maybe overkill. This is really just, it has little barriers right here, and it just keeps cards in place. That's all it does. They don't even move around very much. It's just keeping them there, and it's kind of bringing a central board, a central, area to the table in between the two players. I like it very much, incredibly well constructed, but it is pretty excessive, so I think this might be one of my last recommends from everything you are going to see here today. All right, so let's get that out of the way, and let's take a look at the playmats, and this, again, can go right back in here. I do like that, and hey, it looks sweet. So, here we go. Playmats. The playmats are going to be very useful because they actually show you the locations that you need to concern yourself with when you are playing the game. They're nice, neoprene, not too thick, not too thin, not stitched borders or anything, pretty standard. And then they will show you everything you need to worry about, the Counterpart to this, of course, would be the paper playmats that are included in the starter boxes. And they, of course, don't look nearly as good as these. We're talking here about these paper playmats, which are fine, certainly good to learn how to play the game. There you go. But of course, paper and a little bit smaller. This one gives you some room to breathe and a nice surface on which to play. I love it when a playmat isn't just artwork from the game, but actually has useful zones. And above and beyond that, they've really gone subtle here with the artwork, so it's not pulling focus from the cards that are sitting on top of it. I was talking about the adventure track there being one of my last recommends. This is one of my first recommends. Fantastic playmats. So before we continue looking at everything else that is in this box, let's continue on the Leatherette and take a look at the two other things that they've made with this style, if you would. We've got over here this fella, which is going to store your deck of cards, up to 50 cards double sleeved, and your tokens, as well as on the inside, you are going to have an area where you can put your leader card there, your hero, and you can see through the window who you have in this box. So if you have a bunch of these, you don't need to open it to know what's in it. Pretty good idea. I like the way that works out. This is the deck wallet, as you can see right here, and it's going to open up like this. Looks like that. And then in here, we've got our little box where you can put all of your tokens, your bits, whatever you want to use as counters. Again, with some nice golden branding there, looking slick. The third and final thing I've got in this Leatherette to show you is going to be this right here. A folder, zippered folder, to keep some of your collection. So let's crack this open, take a look inside. It has that same very smooth, very soft finish. And then inside you've got these side loading on each of these pages, 9 of course per, a spacer in here for the moment. And the packaging for this is right here. It is going to be the Zip Up premium album there, and it holds 360 cards. You can sleeve them before you put them in there if you really want to double down on your protection. But it is very attractive. 18 side loading pockets per page there so that you don't have to worry about it shaking. And of course it zips up anyway. So there is that. Again, really lovely look. This is an above and beyond kind of solution, but if you want to protect your uniques in a very good way and have it look good while you're doing it, then yeah, this might be the one you want to go for. So let's go back to our deck wallet over here and take a look at our sleeved cards. So we've got some sleeved cards in here. Let me topple this out, grab my sleeved deck. This is a starter deck that is sleeved. Again, the leader would be, or the hero, I'm sorry, I keep calling them leaders. The hero would be right here. Just pull it out from that. You've got your character ready to go. You can close this up if you're not using it, or you can pull out the tokens from in there, and you've got your hero and your sleeved deck of cards here. So they've got the backs for the decks that are the starter decks. So those sleeves match it. And you've also got then this one that looks like the backs of the cards. So these are all the packs of sleeves. You're getting 50 in each of these. A starting deck is at least 40, counting your hero. So you have some wiggle room there if you're making a deck that is slightly bigger than the minimum. You've got a little bit of wiggle room. And they give you one clear sleeve in here, actually, for this character. So you don't even have to use the one for your leader here, for your hero. It doesn't even have to be one of these. You can put this in a clear. You can easily find it, all right? So each of these has a clear as well. I like all these. If you are going with that one character, then obviously that's my recommendation. I love this one right here. But I generally do like the backs of the cards being represented on my sleeves. So this is the one I like. And these are pretty standard Gamegenic sleeves. They shuffle well. They have a nice shuffle feel, very smooth, work well, pretty good sizing, a decent amount of room around the edges. If you double sleeve, I think you'll be all right with these. And and they seem to be good. I'm not having any problem with these. So there you go. Certainly, if you want to, you have tons of choices when it comes to sleeving, but if you want to stick with the theme here, I would certainly recommend either these, which are my favorites, or picking the hero that you like. Obviously, if you are building a deck and you're using a hero that isn't one of the starting deck ones, well, you won't have somebody matching that, but you could always go with these right here. And since I know you are going to say it, I'm just going to go ahead now and unsleeve my hero and sleeve it in the clear so that you are happy. Now that we've looked at all these sleeves, let's get them out of here and let's continue looking. Let's take a look at another storage box. This one right here is going to be your more standard, more affordable plastic box called the Expedition Soft Box. Looks like that. It has a token box included though, which you don't always get with these. So let's take a look at it. You'll crack this open like so. There's some branding in there. And then you'll pull this one from the back and you can crack this guy open. I thought the latch on this one was a little funky. As you can see, it's just basically a raised piece of plastic and it catches on the inside of this. I'm worried about longevity there. Thankfully, even if that stops catching, it is held in place by the secondary hole here in the box, so you can just sort of push that in there and it can't open up. As long as you pull it from there like so, you should be fine. So even that failing isn't going to be a problem, and the rest of it is fine. It's pretty much what you're used to if you've ever had one of these deck boxes. It's plastic, it's smooth, it works just fine. I like this one actually. It's got a good amount of room. It has your label space there so you can write on it if you want to, and the extra bits for, the extra space, the extra container for the bits, for the tokens, is a good idea. So I like this one. Obviously nothing as fancy as this fella right here, but this will get the job very much done. And speaking of getting the job done, if you don't want your Leatherette folder that has the zipper, then you can always go for this one right here. Let's get my hero out of there. I know you're scared. You're going to damage it. It's fine. My Leatherette folder is lovely, but if you want, you can just get the casual album here with 18 pockets on each of the pages. Same capacity, but of course, it just has the band and the outside is plastic, much like our deck box we just looked at. So you'll crack this open, and you will see this one's in white. Same idea though, side loading on these, and they will fit sleeved in here. Very simple. And then the band, put that around it, and you are good to go. Very straightforward. You know what you're getting with that one. That's the one I would recommend if you want something branded. If you really want to step it up, you're trying to protect, again, perhaps some of your uniques, all of that stuff, then maybe check out the Leatherette Zip Up, and that's fantastic. Lastly, let's take a look at some tokens, shall we? So we're going to bring back this big boy. We've got here across the top, these are your replacements for these that come in the starter pack. So you're going to have these, one for your leader, one for your sidekick there. And instead, you can use these moving across the cards. They have one for each of the different colors in the game. So you can get those standees for the hero and the other character there. So these three for those colors, three more for the other colors. Now the ones in here you can see, I'll just pick one of these, is these two right here, the generics basically. But in here you've also got then the three starting heroes, the ones available in the first set of the game. So you can choose to be one of these specific people and their specific side character there instead of the generics. I like the way these look though. I like being able to quickly look and identify my faction, but you can go with those instead. And these are simply acrylic with a little standee. They work very well. Seems like they'll hold up to some punishment. The base comes out, goes right back in. I haven't had a problem so far with any of them sort of flopping off. But even if they did, you could always drop a little touch of glue there or something. But again, so far, nothing like that has been needed. They're staying put. And then lastly, opening this up, we've got these, which are absolutely a big recommend from me because these replace all of these very thin cardboard pieces with acrylic bits that are lovely, and they are going to be way easier to manipulate, way easier to grab and toss around your star player token. You can properly flip this in the air to pick a start player. All of these are very neat. The only thing I might recommend is maybe buying more than one set. You're going to get these tokens right here, and yes, if you buy more than one, you'll have a redundant start player, but the rest are going to come in handy, especially these the boost ones, the +1s and +2s. So there you go. This one is really good. I would definitely recommend you pick up that if you get into the game. But ultimately, that's really what it comes down to. Are you getting into the game? Because if you are, a lot of these are going to be superb additions to your growing collection. If you're not getting into the game, you merely want to play pretty casually, there's still a couple of these things I would say I would recommend. Okay, the playmats, absolutely. Wonderful. They will improve your game experience. The tokens, absolutely. These, not necessarily, but those tokens, the +1s, +2s, all of those anchor tokens, first player token, all of that, yes, absolutely you need that. Sleeves are very nice. Some kind of container, if you're getting into it, then yes, absolutely, you're going to want something nice like that. If not, I wouldn't worry too much about it, or maybe pick up one of these just so you know what you're grabbing on the way out of the door. But overall, I would say this is a very impressive slate of stuff. I think color palette and construction here is wonderful. I really do like the way that the big layer here looks and works. I like the faux leather vibe. I like the way this stuff feels. I like the way it looks. So very much a recommend from me. If you are someone that is getting into the game, is enjoying Altered, then check this stuff out. And if you have checked it out, then let me know in the comments what you're thinking, which ones have made your gaming experiences a little bit better. There you go, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and checking this out with me. My name is Z Garcia. I'm going to see you on the next one.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.